My name is Alvin George, and I'm a sprinter here at the University of North Dakota. Um, been running track and field since I was in, I want to say, middle school, and obviously up until the collegiate level. And one of the most important tools that I've used as a track athlete, or as a sprinter, was starting blocks. And so hopefully after the speech I give you today, it'll kind of give you some insight as to why starting blocks are important, not only to like the average person, but also to fellow track athlete out there. So hopefully this speech will kind of give you some insight as to the importance of them and the history of them. So yeah, so kind of just getting into the history of starting blocks. The idea of them came out in 1925. Wasn't patented until 1935, and they weren't officially used in a sprint race until 1935. I tried to find some information on that, but I honestly was not able to find anything. So it's kind of just one of those things where it is what it is, and you kind of have to deal with it. In 1937, there were several different iterations of the starting blocks, ranging from different sizes. I think they started off by, they weren't even starting blocks at all. They used dirt holes back in the day. But then I think as time went on, obviously with them being patented in 1935, you were able to just kind of use like the small starting blocks that they have. And so according to speedendurance.com, the average sprinter's heel would be hanging off of the back of the block. And initially this was good because or at least they thought it was good because the stretch generated by the calf muscle provided a higher force output. And so if you want to sprint fast, you need to create a lot of force because force creates speed. Then according to runnershigh.com, at some point in the kind of moving down the timeline, but at some point in the 1980s, they had blocks high enough to provide a complete full block for a foot. And so that's obviously how they have it now. And having your foot on a full block is definitely super important because that way you have you can use your entire foot to create force for you to run faster. So that's a big important part. So here's a video of me in the UND High Performance Training Center. I run track and field here, like I said before. And so this is just kind of a video of me. So basically, in order to sprint fast, you need to apply a lot of force into the ground. As I said earlier, the more force you put into the ground, the faster you'll be able to run. And so sprinting from a standstill position is obviously not ideal, and you wouldn't be able to move as fast as you could without starting blocks. So step one, finding your comfortability in the blocks. I literally step into the middle of the lane. I count 2 steps, and then I put down the block. And then for my front block, I count 2 steps, or I count 2 steps from the line again, put down my front block. And then for my back block, I count 3 steps, and then I put down my back leg. So this kind of just varies depending on the runner, and it also kind of varies depending on the height of the runner too, for how far back you put the blocks from the line. But that's what works for me. Yeah, it kind of just varies depending on comfortability and the height of the runner. So that's an important part. Step 2, getting into the blocks, just make sure that you back into them versus stepping right into them because this will cause you to cramp up. You literally want to step in front of them, crouch down, and then back into the blocks. Yeah, that's definitely super important. Notice that my hands here are pressed up against the line but not over it, because if your hands are on the line for your race, you'll get disqualified. So just make sure that you're taking care of all those little things right before. Step 3, I'll show you real quick. This is me getting ready. Like I said, you can see here, I'm shaking around a little bit, making sure that I'm comfortable, and then I get called to set position. And so this is what you would see when you are watching like the Olympics. Every runner is kind of just sitting down in the blocks, getting ready, shaking around, making sure that they're feeling good, and then they get called to set position. So when you're in set position, this is basically you telling the guy with the gun that you're ready to go. And so just make sure that you're raising your butt high, but not too high, because this will lead to a straight back leg, and you won't be able to push off as well if your leg is straight already in the blocks. And then also make sure that your butt's not too low either, because this is going to disturb your center of weight distribution, and that's going to impair your start. So you won't be able to get out and explode as fast as you would need to. Step 4. So this is when you want to explode. When you're leaving the blocks, you're literally telling yourself to push as hard as you can out of the blocks, because you want to create as much force and as much speed as you can in the shortest amount of time possible. So here, I'll just show you real quick what I do. So I'll show you my first step. My first step is triple extension. Triple extension is when my back leg is lined up. So let me see. Yeah, my back leg is lined up with my head. That's important because you can see that I'm getting that force out. If I can push off my front leg hard enough to where my leg is straight, that means I'm getting the proper force that I need. So that's important. It's also important to drive the other knee up super high too, so that this way the second leg will get some triple extension. So here, let me show you a better angle. Here's me again, another angle, triple extension as you can see there. Boom, I'm exploding. Second step right there, straight right with my head. And so that's how you know I'm using triple extension. So now I'll just play the video for you in real time. Boom, 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 boom. Just like that. You want to be telling yourself to explode and run as fast as you can. Big step, big step, big step, big step. So yeah. So that was just my demonstration real quick. Starting blocks have been around in the sport of track and field and have been proven to be a big factor for sprinters in their success. Now that I've taught you how to use blocks, you're ready for a full race. So just remember, good luck, take care of your body, and in the words of Usain Bolt, run fast. Thank you for listening.